Hello, friends, and welcome to episode 181 of Looking at Stamps. And this week we're going to do something a little bit differently. We are going to take one stamp set and look at it in much greater detail than we normally would. The stamp set we're going to highlight this week is Scott number 3937, A as in Alpha through J as in Juliet. It is titled To Form a More Perfect Union. And it is a civil rights stamp set issued in 2005, and it highlights 10 important moments in civil rights history. So this is the stamp set in its entirety, and we're going to talk about two of each stamps specifically each day. Now this is the front. It has a quote from Martin Luther King Jr. It says, "For in a real sense, America is essentially a dream as yet unfulfilled. It is a dream of a land where men of all races, of all nationalities, and of all creeds can live together as brothers." And then on the back, it shows each of the 10 stamps and gives you a short description of each of the 10 stamps. And on the back, it says, "Our nation's founders created the Constitution in order to form a perfect union. The U.S. Postal Service recognizes the courage and achievement of the men and women who, during the years of the Civil Rights Movement, struggled to bring the vision of the founders closer to reality. Each stamp on this sheet represents a detail from a contemporary artwork commenting on historical events." And this is from the artist Louis Delsarte, and this is called From Selma to Montgomery. So that's the back of the stamp set. This is the front of the stamp set, and let's look at two of the stamps specifically. 3937A as in Alpha is titled Executive Order 9981. Early American laws barred blacks from the military, but in times of war, white leaders recruited both slave and free blacks. The Continental Army had 5,000 African Americans, and at least 216,000 black men served in the Union forces during the Civil War. In that war, blacks suffered unequal pay, promotion, supplies, and services. Jim Crow discrimination in the military continued for decades after the Civil War. Even so, large numbers of African Americans still volunteered to fight for their country. 1 million African Americans served in the military during World War II. Many black servicemen hoped their military service would earn them equal status in U.S. society. When they returned home, they were impatient with continuing anti-Negro discrimination and violence. Black leaders pressed President Harry Truman to end military segregation. Truman was aware how important the black vote was to his Democratic Party, and he knew that integration would also help America win Cold War allies among Third World countries. On July 26, 1948, Truman signed Executive Order 9981, ordering equality of treatment and opportunity for all persons in the armed forces without regard to race, color, religion, or national origin. The next stamp we're going to look at is 3937B as in Bravo, and is titled 1965 Voting Rights Act. The 15th and 19th Amendment to the United States Constitution granted black citizens the right to vote. However, Southern registration boards used poll taxes, literacy tests, and other strategies to deny this right. The murder of voting rights activists in Mississippi in 1964 brought national attention to the issue. Then, on Sunday, March 7, 1965, Selma, Alabama residents and supporters marched to demand an equal right to vote. Alabama police used tear gas and clubs against them. President Johnson denounced Bloody Sunday. Wednesday, I will send to Congress a law designated to eliminate illegal barriers to the right to vote. It is wrong, deadly wrong, to deny any of your fellow Americans the right to vote in this country. The voting rights bill Johnson sent to Congress removed the right of states to restrict who could vote in elections. The act was passed by large majorities in both houses of Congress and signed into law on August the 6th. Within months of its passage, 250,000 new black voters had registered. Within 4 years, voter registration in the South had more than doubled. In 1965, barely 100 African Americans held any elective office in the United States. By 1989, there were more than 7,200. The Voting Rights Act of 1965 accomplished its purpose. And that is all the time we have today. Tomorrow we will look at 2 more stamps from the stamp set 3937 to form a more perfect union. Have a great day. Stay safe. Be healthy. Until tomorrow, bye-bye.